next on our studio.
Hello, everyone. That's a new song that I've been making up. Drew Droege, by the way, right there. Okay, hi, everyone. This is Scott Aukerman, and welcome to the DVD commentary for Season 3 of Comedy Bang Bang. Let me set the scene for you. As many of you know, in the first season, it was only 10 episodes, and so over the course of a couple of months, I tracked down various people to do characters for the individual episodes if they appeared on them. And then last year, because there's 20 episodes and the company needed it right away, we had to do an all-day marathon taping of all of the commentary, and that's what's happening again today. All day. We had a season premiere of season 4 last night, and we had some people over at my place, and
there was some tequila.
Oh yeah, a little bit of tech. And Tech Wars. And so we're a bit hungover. One of the people who was at the party last night is not even making it. So we're going to have various guests passing through all day and talking about the various episodes. But who knows? It could just be our guest and I for most of the day. So we'll see if that happens. Let me introduce the person across from me. He is the executive producer of Comedy Bang Bang, as well as the head writer, as well as a dude who pops up every once in a while. I can't remember the parts he played this year, but we'll see them, I'm sure.
Will show up eventually.
Mm-hmm. And his name is Neil Campbell. Hello, Neil.
Why, hello, Scott.
We are wearing the same shoes.
Yes.
Not the exact same shoes, because that would be a little strange to try to slip both of our feet into one pair of shoes.
Rarely works.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we have 4 feet.
Yeah.
We can agree on that.
I would.
So what we chose to do is wear 4 different shoes.
Yeah, of the exact same make.
Of the exact same make and model.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me also introduce a very special guest. We haven't even been talking about this sketch. We should at some point. But a very special guest who is across from me to the left at, I would say, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock to me.
That's about right.
Somewhere around there.
I'm going to say 3 o'clock to me.
Okay, very good. He is, his storied career, so much. Second City in Chicago, right?
Yeah, years ago. Many
moons ago. But you all know him from the what is it called? Late Night with Conan O'Brien, as well as The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien, as well as Conan. Please welcome Brian Stack.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me. I got here about 25 minutes early because I have no life and I don't know the Hollywood streets.
Brian is in the dangerous Hollywood streets. Yeah. Brian is in the next episode, as Snoop Dogg once told us about, the next episode. And Brian had a look of consternation on his face when I said that.
One of his songs?
That's one of his songs,
I'm
yes.
an idiot.
No, you're just, you don't know every little bit of weird trivia like Neil and I do. Now, we're watching episode 1 of season 3, and this is Patton Oswalt Wears Something. And season 3, should we talk about it generally? Should we talk about what's going on right now, Neil?
Let's talk about, maybe we should go back to the cold open.
Let's go back to the cold open. Now, rewind your DVDs. Now, I realize that you won't be able to hear us if you rewind the DVDs. So, you know what? Just keep these DVDs going, but refresh the sketch in your memory if you need to. Okay, we called it Indiana Aukerman.
Yeah, we were thinking about what are good cold opens for part 3s.
Yes.
A thing that no one cares about. And we were like, the third Indiana Jones has the River Phoenix flashback cold open.
Yeah, young Indiana Jones flashback.
Yeah, so this is our part 3. Let's do our young Scott Aukerman flashback.
Is that how it came about? We were trying to think of good cold opens for part 3s?
Yep, I believe so.
I don't think so. But yeah, we were quite delighted when we realized, well, it is the 3rd season, and that's the third Indiana Jones movie and how it opens. There's Kevin Pollak, by the way.
Yeah. I see Jerry Minor there, too, my old...
Yeah.
I worked with Jerry in Chicago. He's hilarious.
Good old Jerry Minor from Mr. Show as well. I worked with him there. And people know him from my podcast, Comedy Bang Bang Podcast, as Cyber Thug. So I think that you wrote most of that, or we...
Yeah, we kind of wrote it together, I think, a lot.
You and I wrote it together.
And I think
maybe.
we wrote it thinking this is way too expensive.
Yes.
They'll tell us that, and we'll have to pare back on it. And then they just started budgeting things in the order that the scripts go.
In the order that the
They were
scripts
like,
came.
yeah, we
okay.
can do this, and then it cost...
Julie Brister.
Brister, love Julie.
Here's this let's talk about this.
This will lead to a season arc.
This will lead to
story.
a season-long arc, but yes, we wrote this Indiana Aukerman thing thinking, oh wow, we've never done anything this big. It's they'll probably tell us, hey, you need to cut back. They then scheduled a 2-day shoot for that 3 minutes. And we never heard anything about, hey, you're going to have to cut this. They scheduled drones with cameras, so many cameras there.
Stuntmen also.
And then later in the season, they said, hey, we spent too much on that. You're going to have to cut stuff from the back half of the season because we spent 2 days shooting that thing. And we said, why did we spend 2 days shooting that? I mean, it looks cool. Other than one special effects shot, I would say. But
very cool.
But I don't know. By the way, we beheaded Mailman Manny here, yet he pops up several times throughout the season.
Several characters have died not permanently on the show.
Which, by the way, Paul Dooley is on the show in the season 4, and he dies. And he kind of came up to me and was like, well, I had a lot of fun. I'd love to come back if there's a different character. I was like, oh, no, you can come back as this character. People are dying all the time, and they're back.
That's great.
So that sketch, it looks cool, but it was a huge waste of money, and we all regret it. Is that how you would characterize
I'd say
it?
it's the most expensive 3 minutes, in the history of the show.
Yeah,
by far.
And the most expensive 3 minutes that will ever be, because we're never making that mistake again.
Yes.
So let's talk about then this episode, I guess. Patton Oswalt is here. Patton's going to call in, by the way, a little later. He's in New York. He just sold out Carnegie Hall. Congrats to him. He played that last night. And Patton has always been a big supporter of the show. There's a pull quote from him on the season 2 DVD. He was nice enough to say, he wrote me an email and said, I really love Comedy Bang Bang. It's like if Monty Python had a talk show. And I thought that was such a nice compliment.
That seems dead on. That's the reason I love it.
Oh, thank you.
It's totally original too.
Well, let's talk to Brian about what he loves about the show for a bit.
I love it because, it pays the bills.
Oh, really? That's the only reason? Mm-hmm. You're electric. You're gas.
Gas, yeah.
Water.
Netflix.
Netflix. What other bills do you have, a man like you?
DirecTV.
Mm-hmm. You haven't cut the cord yet?
I thought it was not the satellite cord, no. What else I got? I got internet. That's about it. Bills-wise, we're probably nearing the end of what I got here.
Really? What about rent?
Cars? Oh, yeah, rent, yeah.
Child support.
That old Honda Civic's paid off, though.
Yeah. Ooh, I paid off my car this year. Ooh, right earlier in last year. Oh, that's a good feeling. So you're driving around in a piece of shit that you paid for. By the way, we have engineer Cody here on the boards. I wanted to say hello to him, and I apologize to him for having to be here for 12 hours or whatever, however long we're here today. But he's a good. You've done all 4 seasons? Yep. Yeah, he's recorded all 4 seasons of the commentary. So thanks so much to him for being here and for taking a Saturday to do this.
Rat we just saw, by the way, I believe was adopted by Janelle.
Yes, Janelle, our producer Janelle got... Oh, that's the end of the episode. Tricked me. No, Janelle got a rat for the episode, and she liked it so much she kept it. Weirdo alert. Yeah, Brian. Oh, anyway, I was talking about Patton's email. So he emailed that to me, and I thought that was such a nice compliment and something that maybe would accurately say what the show is to someone who is perusing a DVD. Even though he never said it in print, in an interview or anything, I went to him and I said, Patton, would it be okay if we use that as a pull quote for the thing? And he very nicely said yes.
Yeah, that's great. I think that's very accurate.
Thank you. But yeah, he was always a big supporter of the show. He appeared in a sketch in the first season, and I've known him now for 20 years. Wow. This is my 20th anniversary of doing comedy. Yes, Neil.
I was going to say, and the guests usually show up, and they're thrown a bunch of scripts or maybe sent.
We throw them at them.
Yes.
We ball them up, so it's easier for us to throw. And then they have to pick them up.
Uncrinkle them.
And try to read it through the crinkles. Which crinkles, great on French fries, not so great on script pages.
That's how I feel. I always wondered, do you guys keep it pretty loose in terms of what you say with the guests, or is it bullet pointed, or
well,
give anything away?
No. I would love to give it away. Okay, here's how we do the guests. The person shows up, and we've given them some scripts, like what we just saw was a script. That was a scripted bit.
Right.
But they show up and they don't know what I'm going to ask, and we do about 20, 25, sometimes half an hour of just improv interview.
Oh, okay.
That's just kind of loose and fun, and then we mix it in with these scripted bits, so it has kind of a loose feel where you don't know what's written, what's improv. You can figure it out if you're really paying attention. But I just think the improv interview gives it a flavor that you wouldn't necessarily get, and some jokes that you would never think to write,
Yeah.
Yeah. Disagree? Agree?
No, it had that feel to me because it has an improvisational feel, and yet I wondered if any of it was planned. So it's good to. I mean, I figured with bits like this.
Yeah, bits like this are definitely planned.
Yeah, and Patton was also, I was bringing up, great at jumping in.
Yep.
Did them all, committed super hard to them. It was great.
Yeah, every once in a rare while, you'll get one of the couch guests saying, "Hey, I don't want to do that sketch." Does that happen on the Conan show? I would imagine all the time.
We pitched a lot of stuff to guests where they're like, "Oh," but the segment producers deal mostly with the guests. But we've pitched a lot of bits to guests where we'll politely hear. Sometimes it won't even get to the guests; it'll get to their publicist.
Right. That's usually what happens. The publicist says no immediately. That's usually how it works.
Yeah.
We don't have segment producers. We have Neil and I.
Yeah.
And Neil ends up doing most of it. And this is what we call a podbuster, by the way. If anyone is ever wondering why there's a strange 30-second sketch in the middle of the show, it's called a podbuster, and they are designed to stop the live television viewer, or actually someone who's watching it on their DVR. They're designed to stop them from fast-forwarding through commercials. So it's just a short little thing that makes them stop fast forwarding, and then they're more likely to just go, you know what, I'm not going to fast forward through these. I don't want to miss anything.
Why? That's a real thing?
That's a real thing. They're called podbusters. If you're ever watching Top Chef or something like that, and there's just a short 30-second thing where someone's talking to camera about something inessential to the plot, that's what they're there for.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Good to know.
But yeah, Patton was great about just, showing up and doing every single sketch. And every once in a while, there will be someone who, when we're in the middle of doing a sketch, will say, "Oh, hey, I don't want to say this line," or something. It was something that they
switch up. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole direction of the sketch. But,
But Patton was great about wanting to do all of it. And there's stuff that we didn't even use, I'm sure, that's on this DVD from the interview. Sketches and improv stuff that we didn't even use. So, all right, this is Winner or Sinner. Neil, take it.
Every season we have a
By the way, I love doing the intros to these because I try to be as judgmental and sneering as possible.
You pull it off.
That's Jesse Falcon.
Yep.
Yeah, Jesse.
So every season we do a sort of what would you do parody type thing of a hidden camera sort of testing people's morality.
I thought you were saying every season we do what would you do?
Yeah.
That's how every day in the writing starts off. What would you do?
So ABC's What Would You Do? I think that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
And then
who, by the way, I saw the host of that. What's that dude's name?
John Quinones.
John Quinones. I sat next to him on a flight once. And because we do so many of these, I so badly wanted to get a picture with him.
Oh, that'd be great.
As, the host of What Would You Do and the host of Tisk Tisk Attaboy next to each other. And I just hate bothering people for pictures. Even though other people were, I just didn't want to do that. So
that would have been a great one.
And we cast this up with usually a lot of like our
John
friends from
Gabris.
around UCB who...
John Gabris, who podcast listeners will know as Intern Gino, he riffed all of this. We just basically had we just wrote him being disagreeable or something like that, and John riffed probably 10 different things that were all super funny, and we used we used the one that we used. But yeah, these are all like UCB people, Neil.
Yeah, that's Cynthia Cal right there, and
how do we cast the show? Because you do a lot of that.
A lot of it's just I used to be the artistic director of UCB, and I still try to keep
UCB LA. Let's not get New York fans excited here.
Yeah, and so I still
Matt McConkey. By the way, Matt McConkey, that's a really funny read, and it's all just because. And here's an interesting thing for an actor. It just goes to show, like, that's a really funny read, and it was all just because I was like, hey, what if you were... Because the first time he did it, he was just kind of saying it normal, like, hey, I would really like to concentrate on my lunch right now, or dinner or whatever. And I was like, what if you were just like really smarmy and mean about it? And then he did these really funny reads. And it's an interesting tip for an actor of like, if you just add a weird layer to it, there's usually so much more personality to it, especially if you're going into audition for something and you only have one line. Yeah. If you add some strange element to it of like intention of like being snotty for no reason or something, having seen a lot of auditions, it's so easy if you only have one line to audition and just say it normally, like, oh, I'm sure they want just someone saying this normally. But if you add something weird to it, you'll stand out more.
That's a great tip, because I think so often actors are afraid to take that kind of chance.
Take risks, yeah.
It's really
but it's
great tip.
I always look at that line and I'm like, that's such a funny read of the line that I don't know why we thought of doing it that way, but it was really funny. Anyway, so talk about the casting, Neil.
So we cast a lot out of UCB.
Vanessa Bayer from Saturday Night Live.
She was an intern of ours at Late Night.
She was?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome.
We're so proud of some of our former interns.
She's super funny. I'd never met her until right now. We have the same manager, and she was nice enough to come by and do the show, even though we had never met. And we sent her a list of character ideas that we had. And I sent it to my manager saying, she's perfect for the turtle one. She's perfect for the turtle one. And our manager was saying, oh, well, she'll sift through them and, decide. She's like, I see a few here that could be good for her. And then almost immediately she wrote back turtle one. Somehow we knew she would be great at it. Yeah. Okay, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Well, the other thing I was just going to add with Vanessa is this season, I think season 2, a lot of our character guests were sort of friends of the podcast, friends of ours. And season 3, we got sort of lucky with the Olympics.
The Olympics. Here's what happened. The reason why the front half of the season, the first 10, has so many Saturday Night Live people as the character guests is because the Winter Olympics happened the weeks we were shooting. And so Saturday Night Live was off
for 4 weeks.
Yeah, for 4 weeks, which they never are.
Yeah.
In February, I believe. And so they all came out to LA and we're all just here and had a ton of time. It's usually very difficult to get them. Usually, Bobby Moynihan did Forville on season 2 and had to make a special trip and flew out to do it. But Vanessa and Kate McKinnon and Taryn,
Kyle Mooney,
all these great people were just hanging out in LA and so we got to use them all. It was really good.
Yeah,
it was great. Yeah.
And then back on cast again. I mean, we still just sort of there's a lot of friends of ours around UCB. We also just keep an eye on the new people coming up through UCB, and then also there have been people we've just cast off of watching their web videos or liking them in a movie or a TV show we've seen, and there's a lot of people where you go, they're big or whatever, and you reach out and they'll go, yeah, sure, I'll come do a dumb sketch.
I've heard from several actors that it's if you just offer an actor something, there's something about that makes it hard to turn down. Actors have to constantly audition, and so I was talking to someone who's in Dane Looker, which is from our season 4 premiere, and he's a big actor and he's a regular on several shows, and he doesn't need to come out for 2 hours and do a dumb comedy sketch, but he said there's just something about being offered a role without having to audition for it that is just so nice. That, like, wow, who's thinking of me for this? That I just, I like to work, so I came by and did it,
Well, also, when they get to try some comedy when they aren't, like, I remember Sigourney Weaver was in Baby Mama, and I had a little
Aliens.
tiny bit part.
Aliens.
Oh, yeah, that's too. But she said that after doing movies like Aliens and You're Living Dangerously, nobody ever asked her to do comedies.
Which is so weird, because she's so funny in Working Girl.
And she said that's what she did in college, and she always thought of herself as a comedy person. And when you're offered the chance, or someone like Chris Maloney, I think they jump at the chance to do something when they're seen as a serious dramatic actor, but they really love nothing more than doing comedy.
Chris Maloney, I think we talked about in season 2, because he's in one episode in season 2. He got the script and told his agent, I have to do this. This is the stupidest thing I've ever read. And was really funny.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'll say also on this, the character guests like this are never, rarely fully scripted. It's usually kind of like a beat sheet with some ideas, and this take on the song was a true Vanessa original.
Yeah. Well, how did it come about? She said she wanted to sing a song out to commercial? Because none of that was in the beat sheet of places that we could go with that character.
I don't remember.
I think she came and sat down on the couch and said, "Would you mind if I sang a song out to commercial?"
I think it was in there, but maybe as part of back and forth with, I forget.
Okay.
But
do a little more research next time. Yeah. By the way, this subplot about Reggie's real name being Ryan Watts, people now call him Ryan Watts a lot. I read a lot about of that in my Reddit AMA. Now this end of this episode kind of is something that could have only happened because we happened to put Winner or Sinner in this episode, and we read the episodes out loud to see if they have a good flow because there's so many disparate parts. And so we put Winner or Sinner into this episode, and we were trying to figure out how to end the episode by something like the cold open. And we said, hey, what if the dudes from the cold open tried to steal the keyboard and the dude from Winner or Sinner came in and beat him up? And it was just like one of those serendipitous things that we wouldn't have come up with if we hadn't have put Winner or Sinner into this episode and read it out loud at the table. Anyway, we'll see you next episode.
The wolf dead.
Absolutely.